Pop off, what's going on? So happy to have you here. This is our first episode of Ridiculously Specific on the Beam, where we cover artists that are charting across all the charts in the Beam, and we
Let's
break
go.
out. Let's go. We break down a song. We are really interested in talking to you about "Tell Me You Want Me." We want to hear all about it. Incredible track. It has, dare I say, some melancholic lyrics, explosive guitar solo, really just incredible piece of music. We're glad it did so well on the charts. And we're really just wondering kind of, we want to go through the moment of inception, the writing, the sound, the build, all of that fun stuff. Like, this podcast is for people who are super into music, other artists like you, people who want to be artists. And so we want to get into the gear, the technicality, sort of all that fun stuff. But for Tell Me You Want Me, like, where were you? What were you doing when you wrote the song, and that you knew it was like a little bit different from other stuff that you'd been working on?
All right, let us start from the beginning. My name is Julian. This is Rasmus.
Yeah, what's up?
We're in Sweden right now, and this is my second time in Sweden after 10 years. We actually met in LA in 2022,
Yeah, no.
end of 2022, and pretty sure shortly after we started making music together. And Tell Me You Want Me is one of the songs on our EP called Kill All the Birds. And I think, was it like the second song we ever
I
worked
think it
on?
was the second song we started.
I think it was the second song, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, how it came about. So a couple of the songs are from that was one of my songs that I dreamt of.
Yeah,
I remember. So Tell Me You Want Me was a dream, and I woke up in the middle of the night and I heard like and I but I couldn't find the chords to it. And sometimes I can find the chords, but that one, it was like a difficult one to find the chords to.
I think all the songs had many iterations, and my part of it was kind of trying to find the kind of emotion of like the song or the energy of the song. And he had like the melody and like the lyrical part, I feel like.
So when you say you had trouble finding the chords, it was you woke up, you had the melody. This is a this is like a common thing through years. I mean, I'm a huge Van Halen fan. I guess by the guitar solo of the track, you guys might be too. And Eddie like famously slept with like a tape recorder next to him, and he would always just sort of wake up and hum into it. So like even when he wrote Hot for Teacher, like he woke up in the middle of the night, it was like right. So this is an artistic tradition. But when you say you had trouble finding the chords, it's because you had the melody and you just didn't know what chord structure to put it in, what key it was in, sort of all that fun stuff. And you had to find it.
I was just saying I had trouble because sometimes when I had the melody in my head, then like I immediately hear what chords it goes to. And for this one, it was just like the melody that stuck. And so I think we had how many versions of that song?
Bro, like
I was about to I was about to
60,
ask.
70 or something? Yeah.
Yeah.
it was like an insane number, honestly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
There's so many versions, but every artist has, depending on the side, like, bro, this is like every artist makes music. This one is just one that we really felt it needed to be finished. It needed to be done. Tell Me You Want Me is about, so it has multiple layers, like now we're talking like lyrics, I guess. Tell Me You Want Me is the love that you feel, but you can't get. Or it was for me is like the urgency, like you I just want that person. And I was it wasn't really about someone specific at the time, but it's like the feeling of there's gotta be this one person. But you can't really grasp it, you can't really get it, but you would put everything on the line for it.
Yeah,
It's
it's
my
like
interpretation.
it's like the I don't know if some people might relate, but like you're desperate of like wanting this person, and you're like really want them to like you or something. That is like the essence of the song. Like really trying to get it, but you can't get it, and it's like a frustration. And it starts very like abruptly, like the song itself. It's like hits you, and it's like that feeling when you're like, like you just I don't know, you want it now type shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Agree.
that actually that makes a lot of sense to me too, because as the song does start abruptly, and it starts with those, I don't know, either upstroke or downstroke, but that staccato picking of like getting spiked, right? Like it starts out just like that,
It's
and
all
then the
down.
vocal.
Always
It's
downstroke.
always
All
downstroke. The
downstrokes.
whole fucking
The whole song, all
Yeah.
downstrokes.
yeah.
Yeah, makes that's what it sounded like to my ears. And then the other thing about the song, because unrequited love is something we all go through, but it's also like one of the worst feelings. So it's really terra firma for being able to write music from. But the song actually goes through so many the emotional landscape is actually pretty broad in the song. And then even
Mhm.
like the opening lyrics, and it's just a guitar accompanying it with the vocal. you know it's almost whispered, and then it goes into the chorus, and everything gets loud and really lifts. And so I'm wondering, because you guys said there was like 7 or 8 different versions of it. did
Yeah.
you write did you rewrite the lyrics over and over again as well, or were the lyrics and the melody the one thing that just held the whole thing together the entire time from version to version?
The first verse changed halfway, and then the second verse was the same for a while, and then I like last minute changed the first half of the second verse, and you were like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah,
Remember?
Yeah.
Oh, the second version of the second half of the second verse, I changed like a month before.
oh yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. That
but I explained to him how the energy I felt like would change on stage if we had like a little build up there.
right.
But
In my case, you're fucking overthinking that shit.
I know I was
but but I will say, like in general, the lyrics they came, and I don't think we made an effort to change them. Like I didn't want to really change it because it's like for me, like throughout the whole EP and like co-producing, sitting next to this guy, it's like I just want whatever comes to be what it is. Like I don't want to change it too much because I don't know. It's like whatever comes, that's what it is. Like I'm not trying to force it to be something. Like it just is what it is. And maybe he doesn't even understand the lyrics. I'm not gonna question it. I don't know.
yeah.
And then like later on, he's like, "Oh shit, I actually fucking said this, and oh, it was true." Or like something in afterwards, you're like, "Oh shit."
I mean that was like the actual what you're saying. These I don't really think about the lyrics when I write them. I, I don't think about it at all, really. It's just they come, and then, like you said, later on, sometimes very unfortunately, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I go through exactly what was written about. It's like almost a self-fulfilling prophecy. And Tell Me You Want Me is one of them too. And then, I don't know if we can say that, but we were so high at one point. Like we have this specific brand of weed that we smoke from some guy named Jeff.
Oh yeah, shit.
And I almost we gotta give him some writing credits because
Yeah, man.
I'm serious. Like
Yeah.
it gave us some whole new perspective. And I don't know, for the listeners that really listen to the song, I'm not gonna say exactly what it is about, but there is a game hidden into the structure of the song, and whoever can guess what game it is, it's a table game. Congratulations.
That's interesting. We should do a challenge about this on the beam to the audience to see if they can figure it out. But like to as a producer, I think what I'm hearing you say too is that you basically trust your first instinct on what comes out, especially lyrically or melodically, and you don't want to fuck with that too much as you sort of progress through writing the music.
Absolutely. Mm,
That makes a ton of sense. And so basically,
absolutely.
like, what was the from version to version to version, like, what was the time span of it? Because this is the type of thing I think most artists think about a lot and struggle with a lot, right? Like um, gosh, this goes back almost 20 years, but I spent when I was running my first company, I
Mhm.
spent a lot of time with Justice, and they were, yes, that's right. And their first record, they were talking about how they produced it. They had actually a really interesting, I had never heard anybody say this before, and I've had the good fortune of being able to talk to lots of artists through the years. But they were art students, and
Mhm.
so they drew the record. So they said they drew the record and then they recorded it, and like even the way the record starts out with that big like bum 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 bum, and then it goes into I think Dance is the third track, and then the second track
Ge-
is like
Genesis is the first one.
yeah, I mean that record's incredible, legendary, right? And so, but they talked a lot about drawing it out is how you knew it was done, and so it's like how do you know when it's done, right?
Yeah, how do you know it?
How do you know when it's done?
Yeah. How did we know it was done? It was a sort of decision that it was because
No, I know the true answers,
you
but
go, okay, dude.
I do know the true answer.
Tell me, what is it?
Because we were sitting and it became version 20 and then version
Mm,
25 and version 30, 40, 50, 70. And then it's like at some point you gotta stop. Like it's like painting a painting. Like you can always
yeah,
do another dot, but the essence of the
that's right.
song really like it came to like fruition like the first sessions, like the first probably like
True.
2 or 3 first like the first sessions, the song was pretty much done. Technically, I mean,
And,
some things changed. Would it make a difference? Probably not. Like it would
mhm.
probably not make a
Well,
difference. And then we put a deadline, remember?
oh,
How many times we can go over it. So it was like when we have gone over the song 5 times, then you can't go over it anymore. Remember that? And we did it for every song. We did a dot or like a
we
line,
actually did.
and then we crossed it off. And it's like you can't touch it after this like fifth time because it was like you keep on wanna working on it, like,
Hmm.
and you can like do it endlessly, and it's like fun and yeah. But
True.
at some point you gotta just like release it too,
I think it was a sort of a urgency thing too, because
Yeah.
we always felt like we had to like move forward with it. Tell Me You Want Me is one of 5 songs in an EP called Kill All the Birds. And I think we worked on the whole EP for like a year and a half or something.
Yeah.
A whole year and a half, yeah.
Wow. So it was 18 months of writing and recording to get the 5 songs in the state that you wanted to release them, right? Because that's one of the things about writing music. I mean, I think the way that you get to build it in public is that it's like you said before, Julian. You were envisioning how the audience would react to a certain piece of it, so you sort of change the music, and then when you play music that you're writing live, um, you go back and say, hey, we should change this or change that just based on the audience reaction, and that's a little bit of how you get to build in public, but the recording you don't get to build in public. At some point, you have to just open up the curtains and spring it on the world. And that is always a difficult emotional, thing to do. So I'm very interested in this whole thing of like, okay, like July 31st, that's it. We're not making
Mm.
any more changes to it. This is what's going out to the public. Like it or love it or leave it, right? So did you employ that like all the way through? Like, hey, the demos are now done. now we're going into full scope recording. Like, how did you pattern all that out in terms of the calendar?
Yeah, we recorded the drums, which was, I'd say, the most important part of recording all the songs was the drums. They really like once we recorded the drums, they really tied the songs together. Before we had like programmed drums, and then this legend right here recorded all 5 songs in 10 hours.
Yeah.
More like 8 because 2 hours for setup or whatever. And
Yeah.
so we had all the drum recordings done in the beginning of 2024, January.
Yeah, I don't even remember.
And then by summer, by July or something, July, August,
Oh yeah,
we had them pretty much all done, all the songs fully. And then it was just we just needed we were already so deep into it, and so we were like, we just gotta pull the plug on
yeah.
boom. Like,
But honestly, I think being two people helped a lot. I
yeah,
think
yeah,
because it's like if you're sitting there by yourself, it's like you said though, it's like you're very vulnerable. Like when you release like a part of yourself, it's like you're vulnerable. Like you don't want to do it. You want to perfect it, you know? And then I think it's good to have like an outside
mhm,
person that's like can kind of make sense of the situation. Like it is good enough. Like it doesn't even matter if it's good or bad to me. Like I don't care. It is what it is. Like it is what it is. Like you can't really judge it. These are the words that came out. This is how it sounds. This is this song. Like I don't know. That's how it kind of makes sense to me. So I think you being very like analytical and like deep emotionally like invested because you're the singer, right? So
mhm,
I feel like you're a little bit more emotionally like attached
mhm,
to like the songs. Then
Yeah.
I think it's good to have an outside person that can be like not as attached and like kind of break because it's like you said like the Genesis or whatever they did like how many versions
oh
like
yeah, I know,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah
they did a ton of versions of it.
yeah like you can continue forever, so I think
yeah.
that was helpful to like move it
It
forward.
was definitely you were definitely helpful for like let's just call it like I remember you were saying like yeah let's just do it, let's get them done. Like I know I could have been sitting on it for much longer,
Yeah,
but we also had we didn't have any goddamn budget for it or nothing. Like,
yeah, no,
uh, we mix the songs ourselves. We produce them ourselves. It's all in my bedroom, like
yeah,
everything, and the drum edits, everything. We just had to do it we wanted to have a mixer. We tried 2 different ones. They couldn't understand the vision, and we were already too deep into the sound of the demos and
yeah,
how we wanted to sound it. And so we tried. We just said, you actually said, let's just try to do the best we can do it, and then we can be proud of it. Like,
yeah,
just the best what we can do with the things that we have, with the situation we have, and with the tools that we have. Let's just try to make it the best we can
yeah,
ourselves, and then yeah,
Y-
we
So
did it.
I want to get into all of that, because the technical side of the mixing and mastering, recording and composition, is important to the Beams audience.
Mm-hmm.
So did you guys trade off on who was playing the instruments? What was recorded? How what was recorded using physical instruments versus what was recorded using, presets, and what DAW were you guys using? Sort of all that fun stuff is helpful for the audience to understand. They really
Okay.
care about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's give him a little rundown. So, I produce in Ableton. Uh, been producing in Ableton since like 2013. So, all the production happened in Ableton. Uh, we had first programmed the drums. I learned a ton from him. I've never really programmed like with a drum plugin before.
but yeah, sorry, continue.
Yeah, and then the guitars. At first, we just whoever had the guitar in their hand, like doesn't matter. Like we're both musicians. We both know how to play guitar pretty basic. And so that doesn't really matter who does it as long as it'll sound good regardless. And then later on, we have a guitarist named Kazuki. He's from Japan. He then did like the final takes. Some of the old ones we kept because of the texture, and some of what we really wanted to be locked into the drums, he obviously redid because the drums really dictate the rhythm and all the syncopations and everything that happens. So he recorded those guitars and he recorded the solos like one take. Boom.
Yeah, one
Boom. Like
Yeah.
one
just
take.
came in same day, one take, done. Like
Yeah,
didn't even rehearse them. Like he heard it like
first time.
just sat there, just and
Yeah.
we were blown away. I
Yeah.
remember we were like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah, exactly.
It was God-given circumstances.
So like, I just want to emphasize that, like, literally, texts, the first text, that is the text, and like the first riff, that is the riff, and like the first guitar solo, that is the solo. Like, it's very
Yeah.
like, yeah, whatever comes, that's what it is. Like, it is what it is. Like, I'm not trying to make it into something, you know.
Mhm.
I mean, you can, because it's a pretty explosive guitar solo, but you can hear, that there's very little edits, if there were any edits at all, right? Like you can just hear that thing was blasted through, and a lot of, heavier music where you've got these sweeping, epic guitar
Mhm.
solos. You can always tell when the edit's happening, when the guitarist is noodling around, down here and then going up here. But that was like a one take, very natural, and really actually the arc of the solo really complemented the lyrics as well in a super cool way. So the guitarist must have been like just super zoned in and tuned into the track when he showed up already. He must have been listening to the demos and was like, all right, I know exactly what I'm going to do and how I'm going to
Not
attack this
really though.
thing.
That's
No,
the
no.
No,
bro.
no. He like heard like he didn't hear it for the first time, but he
No,
like
but with the drums and like everything tied together for the first time, he heard it for the first time.
he did, yeah. He just said like he's such a legend. Shout out Kazuki.
Yeah.
He's such a legend. He's like the best I know personally in the world. Like he doesn't need to do that. He just
I don't know, man.
he has it in him.
But I was back
Yeah.
to Jeffro guy. That's why he should get the producer credits. This Jeff,
Jeff is
because that was all.
Yeah.
That was all.
it was all him. Like I didn't
Yeah.
even produce anything of the EP and nothing. It's all I told that story so many people, but like
Yeah.
once we lock in, we don't think about things. We just do what comes naturally, and so does Kazuki, and so do you when you play. And it's just I just record the vocals. I think some of them, yeah, first takes. For the last chorus, I did it again, but like it's just whatever comes to you from this source of creativity that you can tap into. That's what it is. Like don't overthink the process. Like when I talk to like the listeners right now, like that want to produce and stuff, like sometimes just tap into like just tune your antenna to the right frequency and just
I mean,
do it.
it doesn't always work out. It doesn't
It doesn't
always
always
become a good song, you know.
But
But you know,
if it doesn't, then it just don't
yeah,
continue working on the song. Just make a new one.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I think that that's right, because I mean, the way that you guys are saying it, you do make it sound like almost like it's kind of easy. But the fact of the matter is, the fact of the matter is, people have a really difficult time being authentic. It's
yeah.
it's hard for people. People want to go back and edit things and change things and make it less human. But sort of when those things just sort of come out as a first take, people can feel it. Especially when the lyrics are honest and authentic and truthful, which is the case here. People can just tap into all of that. So we're closing out, so I just want to get a couple more questions in for you guys. The first thing is like, so for your 18-month process, how much of it at the tail end, right? How much of it was the mixing, the mastering, the recording? A lot of people don't realize how challenging all of that is. And then the other thing about it too, which I want you guys to comment on, is especially when you get other people's vision on your music, even mastering, you can get a
Mhm.
master where you're just like, what the fuck is this? This is not at all what we wanted this to sound like, right?
Mhm.
And so how did you go through all that post production,
Mhm.
and what did that look like for you guys?
So I'd say the first piece of post production was mixing the drums. Like once we had the drums all like comped and edited,
I mean,
like
versus recording.
I mean, yeah, it starts at the recording. Like if you don't have the
First it was demo,
mm,
just whatever, don't care too much. And then Kazuki came in.
mm-hmm,
And like you and me, we like directed him to play in certain ways. Like for example, all downstrokes.
mm-hmm,
Yeah, he wanted to play up and down, but it's like not as aggressive. So then it's like things like that, you know. But then it's also you have to kind of know what you want as well.
mm-hmm.
You kind of have to,
I
I don't
think
know.
I think what you're saying is like it starts at the recording stage,
Yeah,
like having the right setup, making sure that you get the takes sonically clean or dirty, whatever your preference is, but get it in an intentional way right from the beginning.
yeah.
And then that makes the later process much easier because you already have what you're looking for to start out with. You don't have to do much like cleanup, or you don't have to over compress or like EQ all of that.
It was the same with like choosing the right snare for the EP, for example, like being a drummer. Then you're like, you want to find the right snare, like if you can, you know, and then you won't have to process it as much, you know, because you already have the sound that you want from the beginning. That is very important, like very
Mm,
important.
yeah.
Yeah, the root, the original sound is basically everything, right? And you can go back and you can add flange and reverb and all that stuff to whatever it is you want to add it to, right? But there is something to be said of, if you get that, the tone you want out of the snare drum, right? Because the snare drum is just so central to pop music and rock music and
Yeah.
alternative music. And it's, a lot of people don't even realize how hard it is to mic a snare drum and get the sound out of it that you want in the first place. Say nothing of what the EQ process looks like, right? Because yeah, people sing along to music, but the thing most people do to music is bob their heads, and that all comes from the kick and the snare, right? And so it's such an important part of the process. Okay, cool. That's good. And then I also just wanted to ask you guys quickly about. All right, so you're all wrapped up. You've got this finished product. You're happy with it. You listen to all 5 tracks. You know, "Tell Me You Want Me" is, for one reason or another, feels like it's something that's going to be the single. You're going to make a video and put it up on YouTube. But what does that distribution process really look like when you're at the end state and now you're just trying to get it in front of people? What tactics do you employ? What service do you use? What's important to you?
Um, uh, I want to just pedal back for a second,
Yeah.
real quick to um mixing, because you asked the question about the master that I wanted to answer before I answer this question. The the master in essence, as long as the mix is really what you want it, then the master only adds like the tiniest bit of salt to it. You can never expect a mastering engineer to make a night and day difference. Just for the viewers listening or watching this that think, oh yeah, I'm gonna mix it, the mastering engineer is gonna fix it. Like, no, like you or whoever you use to mix your song, that is what it's gonna sound like. That's the end of the whole question. Yes, mastering is a little bit like, yeah, all that stuff, but be happy with the mix. You're never gonna be happy with the master if the mix isn't what you want. And then yeah, after we've done it, I mean, we distribute it with the label engine. Shout out Create Music Group. Just made an account, just uploaded it. It's easy there. Like I don't fuck with DistroKid or none of that anymore. Label engine is just really easy to use, and then it's not easy to use. You have to do everything manually, but
Yeah.
it's great in a sense. You can change and do anything. You can even replace the audio file if you want to. Yeah, we just uploaded it. We did a release show at On the Rocks in West Hollywood. That was fond memory. It was really nice.
Sick, yeah.
It was really nice, and I hope that it does something to people's hearts when they listen. You know, change, make difference in their day. For us, it was just our little babies, and we gave them away.
That's awesome. So the last question I ask is a little bit of the hardest, but knowing everything you know now, seeing the reception to the song, how you built it, if you had to do it over again, is there anything that you would change?
We are already doing it over again. um,
Awesome.
it's the same thing with life. It's never the same. Sometimes you think you got it all figured out, and then you don't. And
Yeah.
that's the same thing with music. Like, it's never the same. Nothing is ever the same. Like, it
But I think like emphasis on it kind of is what it is, and you have to like be proud of it, like do the best you can, and then you just have to let it go. Like
just on to the next thing.
I wouldn't change anything. Yeah, we might have done fucking 60 versions too many, but it still took the song to what it is, and it's like the process alone was like learning a lot, like working together, just like that for the first time,
and just it was a great time.
yeah, it was a good
fondly great remembering this time. Like,
yeah.
it was good for the soul, good for our friendship, and the next songs are different. Like, they come from a different place. No song is ever the same.
Yeah.
And yes, I mean, the production gets better over time, obviously, because you learn so much by doing it instead of thinking about it. You learn way more. Like, yes, we could do it better. I could mix it better. Like, who cares? It doesn't matter. Like, this last song on the EP is called "Who Cares." It's just
Yeah.
it's just keep on going, and it's sort of what I'm telling myself right now too.
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy.
It's not
Not
easy,
easy.
but you just have to just do it.
Yeah.
I mean, you just have to do, I don't know. Yeah.
Awesome. That's a great place to end, guys. Thank you so much for doing this. Thanks for doing the inaugural episode as well.